retrospect, I think I made a mistake. I shouldn't have told Burns there was no taboo. But now the bad news. It's going to get worse. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Willard Nalls. Before I start, I want you to know a lot of these stories, you know, you can tell that they're making them up. But what I'm telling you is all honest to God truth. I'll cross my heart and hope to die.
Impossible.
You know, let me say, I got to get these
Counselor,
things.
pick up the microphone. We can't hear you.
Use the mic, Willard.
Well, I can't read and hold a mic at the same time. First of all, let me tell you about his. I'll tell you about his life in the theater, how it all started, and Bama will confirm this. It started when he was about 2 years old. He was a cute little thing. He had a boyish bob. He was like a little girl. He was the sweetest little thing. And all the neighbors thought he was the cutest thing in the world. And so he'd go around singing, and the people that are as old as I am will remember there used to be a commercial, "Tasty yeast is tempting." He'd go around, he'd sing that, "Tasty yeast is tempting." And so Mrs. Reno, the old lady lived across the street, gave him a penny one time that he sang. Well, then, don't you know, the next day, he went all up and down the block, knocking on every door, and tasty yeast is tempting, looking for pennies. That's what got him started. Isn't that the truth, Ben?
I've been paid for singing since.
Well, then, yeah, he was, see, though, then he thought he could sing. So he tried out for these amateur shows that Bobby was telling me about, and he was Prince Charming. The Snow White thing. Well, he sang one song, and then they made him the second half of the horse. And after that, he joined the Lord's choir. He got kicked out of that for goosing the organist. Talking about that Prince Charming thing reminded me of one time when we were first married. We were staying out at Mother's house. This before Jim was married, of course. And Jimmy didn't know we were there. And we lived up on the 3rd floor, and we went up, or Peggy was up there for some reason, looking around for something. And Jimmy comes trotting out of the bathroom, absolutely stark naked, had nothing on. Peggy comes downstairs laughing, and she says, "Is that Prince Charming?" His war record. You know, in World War II, Pete Malloy, I thought Pete was going to be here tonight, but I don't see him. Anyway,
Nancy's here.
Pete used to tell me that the next time we have a war, he's going to follow Jimmy Knowles around, do everything Jimmy does. That's a good way to stay out of the service. But Jim, you know, he was very patriotic. He was concerned about people in the service. For example, he was really concerned about my welfare. And he was always writing, wanting to know how long it was going to be before I was home. And I always thought that it was because he was anxious to see me. I found out the truth of the matter is, he wanted to know how much time he had. First time I came home, he had sold my ice skates. Next time, he sold my bicycle. But he did keep the room nice and clean. He always wanted to clean a room up so when I came home, it was nice and neat. He gave all my clothes away. That is everything. It wouldn't fit him. Finally, after the war was over, the draft caught up with him. And he did get drafted, and he went in the Army. And first time they had a formation, guy that was in charge asked if there was anybody there to play the bugle. Well, when Jimmy was in grammar school, he took about 6 cornet lessons. So he figured I can see the wheels going around. Bugle weighs about 30 ounces, rifle weighs 9 pounds. I can play the bugle. So they put him in, he's making the bugler. So about a week or so later, they have a dress parade. So here's the bugler. He's supposed to play the bugle. Well, he gets he can't play the bugle worth a damn. Next day he was in the motor corps. Then he went, you know, he was a big football hero. And he went up to Notre Dame to go to college. This is before, I guess, he went in the Army. Maybe my chronology's a little mixed up. But anyway, went up to Notre Dame, and the first thing he goes up for football practice. He's a big football hero. See, the guy comes up against is John Tree Adams. You all might remember him, played the Redskins. Later he was a monster. First play, lines up against John Tree Adams. They snap the ball. Adams raises his forearm like that, catches Jim on the chin, knocks him flat on his butt backwards. He says, Jim, that's the way we play football at Notre Dame. Well, next week he went to Georgetown. And while he was at Georgetown, the best game he ever played was one game when he got knocked out on the first play of the game. And he never woke up till the game was over. He was unconscious the whole game. Best game he played. Then, you know, he does everything when he's asleep. He's a great sleeper. He's the only guy that I ever knew that could fall asleep while he was talking. I once saw him fall asleep standing up in a hammock. And, you know, the reason they started this 30-second time, you know, between the plays and football was because he used to fall asleep in the huddle. Oh, he was a smart kid. Wasn't much of a speller, though. He flunked spelling every time. He took a test one time, got a 0. The teacher said that she would have given him 2 points for putting his name on the paper, but he spelled that wrong. Now, so help me, may God strike me dead. He's filling out a form to go to high school at Gonzaga. He's in the 8th grade now. This is no 2nd grader. And it says, put in your full name. Nalls, James. He writes down Nalls, James, and he looks at me and he says, well, how do you spell Thomas? And you know, we have a cousin, a fellow by the name of Depro, who lives out on the West Coast, and his brother-in-law works for Disney. And I'm sure that not very many people know this, but when they were making Mary Poppins, the words to that song, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, or whatever it is, that came right off of one of Jimmy's spelling papers. He was trying to spell vacuum. He's one of the last of the big spenders. They were out in Aspen, Colorado with Joe Murilli a year or two ago, free vacation. And so Joan goes into town to buy and shopping, and she finds a $4 dress in a shop. Well, this was over her allowance, and so she didn't have enough money to pay for it, so she had to borrow it from Murilli. And Jim didn't hesitate a bit. He paid it back without a murmur. Just didn't say that. Bobby Connors and he, are old buddies, and one time they're coming home from the Redskins game, and so they're coming up 18th Street. This was when they were playing in Griffith Stadium. And Bobby and Mary were supposed to come over for dinner. So as they're going by Bobby, he's about as tight as Jimmy is. So he's going to pull a fast one on Jim, and they're going by Giffords there on 18th Street. Bobby says, "Hey, Jim, let's stop at Giffords and get some ice cream." Oh, Vignons. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, Vignons. And I knew I screwed up that. The Vignons was worse than Giffords, if you remember. So anyway, Jimmy says, "Okay, Bobby," says, "you hold the car, I'll go in and get the ice cream." So right next door to a Vignons was a high store. So Bobby thinks he's watching the car. He ain't watching Jim. Jim ducks into the high store, and he gets a quart or a gallon of High's ice cream. And he comes out, and they go home, and they eat the ice cream. And Bobby, he'd never eaten expensive ice cream in his life, so he didn't know the difference. So Jimmy got a big laugh out of it, and he told him about it. So Bobby, he's a good sport, that don't get mad, get even theory that we were talking about a little while ago. So a month or so later, little Jim goes down to Bobby to get his teeth fixed, and Bobby says, "Now, Jim, there's 3 things that you absolutely cannot do." He says, "You can't eat candy, you can't chew ice, and you can't eat High's ice cream." So a month or so later, little Jim's having a birthday party. So they all sit down to eat. Little Jim looks up to his mother and says, "Mom, is this High's ice cream?" "Oh, God, help me, God, this is the truth." So she says, "Yep." He said, "I can't eat it." It's Jim's own birthday party. And she says, "Why not?" "Uncle Bobby says I can't eat it." I thought that Burns was going to tell this story about Jimmy. I thought he was going to say it, and then it was Joe Hollister who was talking about New York, and I thought both of them were going to tell this story at first, and I was kind of taking a little bit of my thing here. But anyway, when he was up there at that thing in New York, and it was probably that same night that he went up to Joe's hotel room, he went into this bar up in New York, and in his big spender fashion, he says, "I'll give $1,000 to any girl in the place who'll do it my way." This one girl, she comes over to him, she says, I'll do it, for $1,000, I'll do most anything. So anyway, he went up, and I guess it was Joe's hotel room. And so the girl says, "By the way, what is your way?" And Jim says, "On credit." But he was generous, really. When we were kids, he was always shared things with me, like ice cream, for example. If he got a bigger helping than I did, he'd always say, "Will, you want some of my ice cream?" Well, I never took it because I knew he used to spit in it first. And he's always quick. I mean, he didn't carry a grudge. He's always quick to forgive an injury. Like Pat was saying, he hit him on the head with a bowling ball here a month or so ago. And heck, it was 2 days before he came to the office to make the codicil to his will. You remember that story that I guess Bobby was telling about when he rolled Jones' car? Well, see, he had this old wreck of a car. So when he got married, he figured, boy, Jones got this new car, I'll sell mine and we'll keep hers. So he did, and he wrecked it on the honeymoon. And he was really concerned about Jones' safety, I mean, he does a 180 or 360 roll in his car, and it comes up and lands on its wheels. And first thing he did with his new bride sitting there in the front seat was turn off the radio. His love life, oh yeah, this is good. Joan was a cinch, she couldn't miss, because she's the first girl who ever went out with him after football season was over. He came back from Flint and he was telling Joe Veith about her, and he says, Joe, he says, I really like this girl, but I'd like to marry her, but he says, one of her one of my 2 requirements is missing. And he'd always said, I've got 2 requirements in a girl. One of them is she's got to have big bosoms. And the other is she's got to have perfect teeth. And Joe says, well, that's all right, Jim. He says, I can fix her teeth. So Jimmy says, our father's a dentist. Somebody was saying how they're always warm and friendly and affectionate and demonstrative and everything. And perfect example is we had it one night. We had a Mardi Gras party out at Holy Child when Amy was, Amy or Betsy, I forget, one of them was out there. And so Jim was one of the clowns, you know, in New Orleans and Mardi Gras and all that stuff. And one of these clowns, and everybody wears a mask and a big voluminous costume so you can't identify the clowns. Well, Helen Spencer was there. She was one of the guests. So one of these clowns comes up behind her and pinches her on the ass, and she says, "That's Jimmy Nalls." One time, when he's working at Cadillac, Joe probably remembers this, he took his secretary on a 3-day skiing trip. Couldn't understand why Joan got mad. The girl's name was Vivian Strumpet. He once told me that the thing he liked best about Bobby Connors is that Bobby was the only one that ever arrives at a party after he does. And he likes to travel with Bobby because when he comes in late, he can blame it on Bobby and everybody will believe it. I went to the Redskins Colt game with him in Baltimore one time. We had reservations in some classy restaurant for dinner. We were supposed to go to dinner before the game. Not only did we not get dinner, we missed the first half. Well, and the one thing about Jim, I mean, as you all know, he's all such a quiet, reserved fellow. I want you all to know, now, I'm a lawyer, and I've broken a lot of leases, but you don't need a lawyer. If you got a lease that you want to break, you can get it broken for about $12. You buy a case of beer, and you invite Jim over. That'll break any lease. Well, that's all I got to say, Jim, but I do want you to have this one present that I brought you since you're now approaching retirement age, and you might want to get into some other business. And since you have experience in this field, I want you to have this little thing because it might start you off in a new business. So I'd like you to open it up so you can. Okay. Everybody will know, you know, if anybody is in the market that you're available, and that this is something that you really ought to.
Peg, you want to save this paper too?
No, that's okay. We've already used this stuff.
Fruit of the Month Club.
That's not relevant.
No, that's not relevant.